Let me now bring on board Mr. Y.D. Maiskar, Chairman and Managing Director of IRB Infra, who joins us live from Mumbai. Mr. Maiskar, morning. Thank you for joining us. You've achieved the financial closure of your Ahmedabad Vadodara Expressway. In the overall scheme of IRB, how important is this financial closure?
Morning, Nikunj. This, I would say, is the largest project to date in the IRB portfolio. The project cost is around 4,880 crores, of which 3,300 crores would be funded by debt, and the balance 1,580 would be internal accruals, equity contribution by the company. So I would say that this is so far by far the largest project in our kitty, and is one of the very busiest corridor in the country, which witnesses very heavy growth, and we are very bullish on this project being a 25 years concession.
So what kind of estimates are you working with, Mr. Maiskar, in terms of the traffic estimates as well as the IRRs that you're factoring in?
On a blended basis, we have closed the financial closure on our interest cost of around 10.5%. So on this basis, we should be in a position to get an internal IRR of around 17%. And in terms of revenues, there are two legs to it. The existing 4-lane highway, we would get the tolling rights from day one, whereas the tolling on the adjoining National Highway number 8, which we have to upgrade to a 6-lane highway, would come to us only 3 years down the line when the construction is completed. So only one stream of revenues, which should yield anywhere between 130 to 140 crores annually, should commence from the appointed date as and when NHAI gives it to us.
So what is the NPV of the project, the net value? When will you start making money?
See, Nikunj, this is a 25-year concession where you have a high premium that is being offered. And these kind of projects would have a cash negative situation for first 4-5 years of operation, which would be funded by a sub-debt from the company. And if one has to be in a range of around 17 to 20% IRR, then these cash losses for first few years have to be funded by sub-debt, because if you want to have a cash surplus situation in year one, then your IRRs are going to shoot beyond 30-40%, at which nobody will be able to win a project. So there would be a cash loss in first few years, but that's what our projection is.
And what's the payment schedule to NHAI for this project?
We are offering a premium of 309 crores, which starts from the appointed date. And as the revenue stream from NH8 only commences 3 years down the line, part of the premium also gets capitalized during the 3 years process.
Give us a sense of the existing IRB portfolio. How big is that in kilometers, and what is the average yield on the existing portfolio?
On the average yield on the existing portfolio is very strong. We are doing almost 20%, 18 to 20% return on the portfolio basis. And we are quite hopeful that we'll be able to continue this kind of return going forward, looking at the present traffic estimates. And even this project, our belief is that this is based on a traffic growth assumption of around 7, 6 and 5 graded downwards. So if the economy continues to be in good shape, I think even this project has a potential to get more than 18% over a period of time.
I'm going to blend my questions
in terms of lane kilometers. This would continue around 7,000 kilometers, okay. 7,000 lane kilometers.
Yeah, that is the kind of number I was looking for. So let me blend my question to two. First, are any of your existing toll roads up for revision? B, at a time when you need money, at a time when you are expanding, the cost of capital is moving up, what is stopping you from developing your land bank? You're sitting on a sizable land bank right outside Mumbai.
Yes, you're right. We do intend to develop that, but not immediately. We are scouting for partners, and at an appropriate time we will take the call on that as well. As regards the rate revision is concerned, the rate revision on Bombay-Pune, as you know, has happened 1st April of last year. And we would be having a rate revision on Tumkur-Chitradurg from 1st of April. And then beyond that, we will be having Surat-Dahisar and Bharuch-Surat, which is again an annual rate revision.
Also give us a sense of what the current order book kitty is looking like, and what is the pipeline, more importantly, where all are you bidding, and what's the picture really on that front?
The order book of the company at this point is around 9,000 crore plus, and that gives us a very good visibility in terms of our business plan for next 2 to 3 years. And the pipeline also at this point is very strong. We have seen NHAI awarding almost 4,500 kilometers so far, and on an annual basis 6,000 kilometers getting tendered out over next 2 years looks quite feasible. So we are quite bullish on that. We are also seeing a lot of developers wanting to sell projects, so action on that side also looks to be interesting. So I think overall we would say that there is good prospect and growth visibility in the sector.
When you say 9,000 crore rupees on the total order book, over what time period is it sort of staggered towards?
Over next 3 years.
Mr. Maiskar, if I look at IRB, currently IRB is India's largest toll road company, which has presence in the EPC segment and is owner of some strategic land banks. If you and me are engaging in a similar dialogue after 3 years, what will change for IRB? Are there any of your key businesses which you will expand, or any of your key businesses which you will exit?
Don't intend to exit any, but the core focus would continue to be highway building for next 3 years for sure. Because our sense is that by 15-16 you will see the highway order book getting picked out. Because if you look at the overall plan of the Government of India today and the way the project pipeline is slated to be bid out, I think by 15-16 you would see the bidding peaking out and the execution of the same getting done by around end of this decade. So if we have to look at the existing asset base that we will create by 15 once we complete Ahmedabad Vadodara, would be in the range of close to $4 billion. And if we are able to win incrementally $1 odd billion annually, then by 2020 we will aspire to have a total pie size of $6 to $8 billion in the overall scheme of things.
Mr. Maiskar, your shareholders
so
are
the clear
also
focus would be to be in the highways.
Fair point. Your shareholders are also curious to know about the airplane the IRB group owns.
Yes. We do own it. We have already clarified it.
So is it part of IRB, the listed entity, or is it part of a promoter-owned entity?
No, it is a part of the EPC company, which is a part of IRB.
And you're not looking at selling or getting rid of that aeroplane?
No, not at all.
So you're charging the depreciation in the listed company because the aeroplane is a depreciating asset?
Yes, and that's the precise reason why it was bought in the EPC arm, where we get the depreciation benefit. That's right.